for our learning folks, our young folks?
Oh, okay, I'll start again. So there's a quote that everybody heard this before. Sir Francis Bacon said, "Knowledge is power." Everybody's heard that, right? Well, that's actually sort of an abbreviated quote, which is actually a much longer substantiated statement that he made about knowledge. What he said is, knowledge is power so long as our hands are always moving and our eyes are always watching, right? So knowledge is power in the basis or in the sort of understanding that what we know that we're able to apply and use becomes power. Knowledge itself, just knowing something itself, is not power, right? So I think that's largely what a lot of people have missed in education, is this idea that to know a lot of things means something, but there are a lot of smart people who really can't do anything. And we have, I actually am mentoring somebody like this right now who's really, really smart and really just struggling sort of with the tangibles of the actual workforce. So I think for everybody, it's really focusing on, what you do and what you produce is really sort of a manifestation of who you are, right? And to the extent that you can demonstrate this is what I can do, that makes it easy to sort of be hired on the spot or create new opportunities. And another thing I love to say is it's really not about who you know, it's about who knows you. It's about, I'm sitting in my office and now I have a need for these three different roles. They're very, very hard to fill. Is there somebody at some point in my life that I've actually met who could fit that specific role, right? Because businesses are changing, and this is a very different world where there are no longer these sort of cookie cutter factory jobs, right? There are very, very unique problems that we're facing now as a business that we need a very, very special person or a very, very special person with a set of skills to fill that need. So I think it's all about like the tangibles. What can you do? Demonstrating it, talking about it, people knowing that, and that in maturing your position in the marketplace.
But where do you look to see those skills being demonstrated? I love your point about, look, I want to, it's not who you know, who knows you and who knows your work, but how does a young person get their work known, right? Ted talked about going out and talking to schools. Well, how do we validate whether or not those students who are interested in working in a particular industry have the skills that you think they ought to have? How does that work?
I mean, LinkedIn for sure. If I said to somebody that was looking for a job, if you're not on LinkedIn, you're not serious. Like if you aren't actually actively, again, putting yourself out there where people can find you, I think that's one way. I also have sort of a non-traditional way that's kind of is off-putting, throws people off a little bit, is I actually put together a portfolio, because it's very difficult for me to talk about some of the stuff that I've done, like nonprofits, to developing apps. So I've sort of controlled. I think there's an instruction for everybody that's sort of kind of entering the workforce, is basically control your narrative. Like find ways to talk about what you do, how you do it. It's a blog. It's your social presence. It's anything where people would discover you and encounter you.